proportional relationships. Essential question. How do you identify if a graph or equation is proportional? First, we need to define our two vocab words. Proportional means the line on your graph goes through the origin or the coordinate point 0, 0. A line that is non-proportional does not go through 0, 0. If you're a visual person who wants to see what that would look like, proportional, the line goes through 0, 0. Non-proportional, the line does not go through 0, 0. So this lesson is similar to the lesson from 3-6 day 1 because we're going to write an equation in function notation to represent the line. The only extra step we're going to do is figure out whether or not it's proportional or non-proportional. If you're watching the video and taking notes, the easiest way to make these graphs in your notes is by writing down the coordinate points, making the dots, and then connecting them with a line. So this coordinate point is 0, 2. This coordinate point is 2, 3. So make both of those dots in your notes on a coordinate grid and connect them with a line. So a reminder on how to write an equation. It's f of x equals mx plus b. M is our slope, or your rise over run. You can think of it as either. B is our y-intercept, and that's where our line crosses the y-axis. So if I'm going to write an equation, I first need to figure out my m. So I'm going to count my rise and run. Remember, you can start at either coordinate point. It doesn't matter, but you have to go up or down, then left or right. So I'll pick this one to start. So I'm going to go up 1, right 2. So that means my slope is 1/2. Then I put the x next to it. Then I need to fill in my b. So I have to figure out, where does my line cross the y-axis? The blue line crosses this axis, the y-axis, at +2, so +2. Now I have to decide, is it proportional or non-proportional? Well, there's two ways to figure that out. The first thing is I can look at my graph. Does my graph go through 0, 0? No, it doesn't. So it is non-proportional. The other way to look at it is your y-intercept. If your graph is proportional, your y-intercept will be 0. Ours is +2, so that means it is non-proportional. The coordinate points for this graph are 0, 0, and 3, -1. F of x equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, or the rise over run, b is the y-intercept. So if I count my rise and run, I'm going to pick one point. I'll start right here. I'm going to go down 1, so -1, run 1, 2, 3. -1/3 is my slope. Then I look for where my line crosses the y-axis. It crosses it at 0. Now I have to figure out if it's proportional or non-proportional. Well, if my graph goes through 0, 0, which it does, it is proportional. I can also figure out if it's proportional by looking at my y-intercept. If my y-intercept is 0, that's also how I can tell it's proportional. The coordinate points on this example are -3, -2, and 0, 3. F of x equals, count my slope, so rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, run 1, 2, 3. So 5/3 line crosses the y-axis at positive 3. And I got that from right there. 2 ways to figure out if my graph is proportional. If it goes through the origin, 0, 0, which no it does not, so it is non-proportional. I can also look at my y-intercept. My y-intercept was plus 3. It needs to be 0 for it to be proportional. Zero, 4, 2, 1. Count my rise and run. So down, 1, 2, 3. Remember, down is negative. Right, 1, 2. So negative 3 over 2, x. My line crosses the y-axis right there at positive 4. Does my graph go through 0, 0? No, it does not. So it's non-proportional. I could also look at this plus 4. It's not a 0, so it's non-proportional. Zero, 0, and 3, negative 5. F of x equals rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I went down, so it's negative 5. Right, 1, 2, 3. Right is positive. So negative 5 thirds x. My line crosses the y-axis right there, which is 0. And really, you don't even have to write that in your equation. Does my line go through the origin? Yes. So it is proportional. If I look at my equation, I had the plus 0 there. So that also tells me it was proportional. Negative 1, 1, 0, 4. F of x equals, count my rise and run. Rise 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. So 3 over 1, or 3x. My line crosses the y-axis right here, which is positive 4. It does not go through the origin, so it is non-proportional. My y-intercept is not 0, so it's non-proportional. Summary. The homework for this lesson is page 198, numbers 1 through 8.